Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, Crafting with Mary. I am here today to do a kit down of Magical Sea Friends, which I did a kit up with specialty drills in one of my other videos, and I can link that if you would like to watch that. But this is a kit down with specialty drills. If you're interested, I don't know, some people save stuff, some people don't. Obviously, you'd probably save your specialty drills. I also save all of my other drills. So on this side, I have my specialty drills. On this side, I have my regular drills. And this is how I store things at the moment. I have seen another system for primarily specialty drills that I might possibly switch over to eventually, but it's a little bit more costly. So for now, this is what is working for me. It does okay. These are rounds and rounds. I have other boxes for square, and obviously, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty well growing out of 2 boxes. I'm going to have to expand, which really isn't a big deal. However, it does take up space. So I have my boxes of drills, specialty and regular drills. I have my list that I made of, all the specialty drills just in case I need it. I shouldn't because of how I put them back in here, but I do like to keep it on hand just in case something got mixed up in there or whatnot. So I am going to actually set this off to the side for the moment. Put that up here. And then I do keep a list of what I have. Sometimes when I'm looking for something to put in, a specialty drill or whatever, or, oh gosh, I ran out of that. Not on a Diamond Art Club or the Gems Diamond Art did I run out, but another off-brand that I had, I ran out and I had to pull some drills out. So it was helpful to have a list of everything I have. And this is Diamond Art Club and all the other, this is my regular drills. And then these are all the specialty drill sheets. So I didn't, I was in a hurry when I pulled these, so I did not mark them as out. So I'm not going to mark them as back in. However, the regular drills I am going to mark because those will not be in there. So I am going to hold that one out, but not this one. I will set this up here as well. Then I have my pencil and my marker, and I do have some bags because I do kind of keep Diamond Art Club drills and any other company drills. I do tend to keep those separate just because of quality differences or anything like that, or lots, die lots. I like to kind of keep that stuff separate. I know die lots are different even within Diamond Art Club and anywhere else. I don't tend to worry about that as much unless it's a dramatic difference. However, you do how you want to do. That's how I do it. So, my baggies, let's open this up and get going. I may, sorry for the noise, I should have opened this first. I may fast forward you on some of this, or I even had somebody tell me that they do like the longer videos and watching the whole thing. So I may do 2 versions. I'm not sure yet, but there could be a couple versions depending on what you want to listen to. So here we go. So 151. Oh, and I guess I need my, let's see here. Gotta move a couple things. I forgot I need my main kit. The Elizabeth Ward trays. This has everything in it, so I need to kit this down as well as these bags, and I'm going to have that off to the side here. So 151 was my light pink sparklers. And I'm going to go ahead, dump those back in there. Find where my sparklers are. Let's see. Sparklers. Light pink. And I do have these in alphabetical order. ABs. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but I have ABs over here. And then we go, I don't even know what's next. Crystals, crystal AB, and so forth. So sparklers start with an S, and they're here, and then they're all in alphabetical order is how I do it. So then with this bag, I have some extras in here. And these. Then I will just write on here. Gems. Diamond. And 151. And I like these baggies. These are the 4 mil. They do work in this system much better than, you know, these other baggies. I wish I could leave them in this, but I could just tuck it in there, I suppose. So then I just do that. And I may, oh, a couple more in there. There we go. Toss that baggie. Mark on here. Let's see. I am going to put 151 and I'm going to put Gems 1. Because I do have a few companies in here that I have mixed. And then I do mix them in here. Like I don't have just one company in here. That would be too much to have so many different boxes. And then let's see how these stickers come off. This is going to be a test. I have not used these stickers on here before. We'll see how good they come off. Well, it's not horrible, but they're not as easy as others. That's a little bit of a problem. I'm not crazy that those stickers don't come off, but it's not the worst either. I have had some where I've had to take a little straight edge, and I kind of gouged some of my containers up. I was not happy about that, but those at least did kind of peel off. Just not, I'll have to take some alcohol or something and kind of clean that up. But okay, so 152, I don't have a specialty drill, so I am just going to, this one may take a while because I'm creating new bags for each. But that's okay if you want to stay and watch. You are more than welcome to. Or if you want to watch if I do a fast forward version or a shortened version, you can watch that one as well. I'm not sure what we'll talk about if I do an extended version. I have a hard time talking and and thinking about what I'm doing. So it could be interesting. So if you see mistakes, that's what's going on. I'm trying to talk and think and do this all at the same time. So, and then my pen doesn't want to work so great. 155. So let's see, I can tell you a little bit about myself as we do this. I am, if I can talk, like it might be a little delayed here, but I will be 50 years old this year. I have 2 adult boys, which seems weird to say, but they are 23 and 24. 24-year-old will be 25 in August. 23-year-old will be 24 in October. So they're about 13 and a half months apart, which was interesting when they were babies. It was kind of like having twins, but not. You know, when they got a little bit older, it was like one was just old enough to do some things and the other one wasn't. Well, he didn't understand why he couldn't because he thought they were, you know, the same age. And so it was always interesting, you know, as they were growing up. But it was kind of nice, I think, having them, you know, that close together. They are, my oldest is, let me think here a minute what I'm doing. My oldest is in North Carolina. He is getting married in October. Him and his fiance are there. He does heavy equipment operating. He got his CDL license. So he's into that end of like the construction field. I am just going to take a little shortcut and do this with these for now. So he does that. His fiance is going to school to become a paralegal. They are in North Carolina. They had initially moved to Florida. She has some health issues that the warmer weather is better for her. They had initially moved to Florida back in 2022, just before that really bad hurricane hit. And they were on, oh shoot, what's the name of the island? It was one of the islands that was hit really bad and taken out. Just there kind of west of Fort Myer area. I can't think of what that little island is, but they were on the southern end of that island, and Taylor's grandmother lived on more the northern end of that island. Well, we were watching, you know, the hurricane and seeing what was going on, and, you know, I had talked to him. I was like, you know, you probably really should get out of there. And so Noah made the decision to go ahead and pack up and get out. So they went to North Carolina. Her brother lives there, so they decided to at least go that far until the hurricane passed and then figure out what to do. So they left And thank goodness they kind of had just beat it out of there, made it to North Carolina, and the hurricane hit. And where they had been staying, they were in just an Airbnb for the time until they got settled and found a place and all that good stuff, and had their jobs and all that. Well, the house that they were staying in was completely flooded, like to the roof. So it was a good thing that they did leave. Mama Hart was happy. But the house was destroyed, so obviously they couldn't go back there. Well, then they decided not to go back there at all, and they were going to stay in North Carolina where her brother is. They did come back here for a few months until they made that decision. See, I'm starting to forget what I'm doing because I'm talking. Like I said, they did come back here for a few months until they decided exactly what they were going to do. But they are now in North Carolina, and that seems to be where they're going to stay. Me and the mom and me, of course I want them to come back here. But, So we have a wedding in October that we are going to North Carolina for. It is just going to be a very small wedding, just more immediate family on the beach. So that's going to be really nice. And so then my other son, Caleb, he is still here in my town where I am, and he is also in construction. He was doing installation of windows and things like that, and then he had some knee issues and had a surgery, and he moved to where now he does all the measuring and things like that, which is very helpful because whoever was measuring before apparently was not doing measuring quite right or didn't know what they were doing. So he is now doing that, and he really seems to like his job as well, also in the construction field. So both my kids are in the construction field. That was their father's field as well. A little bit more about history. I don't know. I don't know how much detail I'm going to go into with this, but I'm divorced from their father. We were married for 25 years. And we're only divorced for a few, and he was killed in a motorcycle accident in 2022. And that's probably all I'm going to. Get into on that subject. Sorry. It's been really hard. Just a lot there. And maybe someday we can discuss that further, but not for now. So anyway, both of my boys are doing amazing. They are amazing young men for what they have been through. They are doing really well. And they're amazing young men. I don't even know how to say any more other than they're amazing. Like, they are just really good boys. I just spilled this stuff everywhere. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how to pick it up. So yeah, I didn't plan on getting into that detail. So sorry about that. It's a very emotional subject for me. This is not working well, guys. And I don't want to lose all my specialty drills, so I am going to take a minute and pick these up. Shoot. Anyway, my boys. So yeah, I am going to take 1 second. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry, I think I just ran into my camera. Okay, so Crystal AB. Whew. Did not mean to start crying on y'all. Brand new, trying to get going, and I start crying. Anyway, so my boys are, again, amazing boys. Yeah, I'm losing my mind, guys, on what I'm doing as I'm talking. Hopefully you're getting a good laugh at my not being able to talk and do this, because I am. But if you like the longer extended version, I guess that's what you get. You get to see all my flub ups and hear my tears. I don't know. I forgot to write the... There we go. So, let's see. What else can we talk about? So I have 4 brothers. I am the only girl right in the middle. I always say I have been a youngest, a middle, and an oldest. My 2 older brothers are, 4 years older. No, 5.5 years older is my oldest one, and then 3 years older, I believe, is the next one. And then I've got 2 younger brothers that came along quite a bit later. They are 9 and 10 years younger than me. So by the time they came along, the older ones were about getting ready, to move on and move out. And so that's why I say I was a youngest with them, and then I was kind of a middle for a little bit. And then I was the oldest to my younger 2 brothers. So I was around. I did a lot of babysitting for them and so on. So anyway, but they are all fairly much in this area. see, within, I think one of them is a little like an hour, between an hour and a half away, and then the other one is about 45 minutes, and then the other two are, like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. So, what am I doing here? AB 211. No, this is AB 210. Yeah. Sorry if you're hearing outside noise. I do have my windows and such open. I was trying to do some recording yesterday, and it was hot yesterday. It was, I think, in the 90s and humid, and it was miserable, and I couldn't, if I turn the air conditioning on, I live in an apartment, if I turn the air conditioning on, it is so loud. So I didn't want to do that and record, and I was trying to have the windows open, and it just got too hot, and I couldn't do it, so I decided not to record. And I was doing some unboxings, trying to do some unboxings, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna open these and not record, because I've been waiting to open these and I haven't been able to. And so we'll see, maybe I'll go back and still show them their some of the birds. I am a bird fan. So there was some of those in there, and I actually got more in today. I had a lot of packages coming, because everybody's shipments was held up for a little bit, so everything kind of shipped at once, which is kind of fun. But so yeah, my mom and dad are in the area. They are still in the home that I grew up in. They're, I don't know, about 10, 15 minutes to get to them. Not too far. My mom just had a hip replacement week and a half ago, so I had stayed with them for a few days to help them out. My dad just had open heart surgery in April, so they've had a lot of stuff going on, and he's still not back up to full capabilities yet. So been trying to help them out. I do go up there from time to time and help do some cleaning and different things around the house, help my mom sort and organize some things, and just go through some, things we all hold on to. And so helping her go through some of that stuff, either organize it or decide to get rid of it, or what do you want to do with it, that type of stuff, and doing a good cleaning of cupboards and going through clothes and, all those sorts of things that are never fun. Who wants to do that stuff, right? So that is mostly, I spend my time either, I'll go up there a day, or sometimes a couple days a week, usually just one day a week. And then I am currently not working out, outside, other than doing diamond painting. Obviously I do the house chores and cook and, all those sorts of things. That, who likes doing that? Well, I know some people like cleaning. I don't mind cleaning. I like things clean, but I want to diamond paint and do all things diamond painting, right? So Oh, what did oh, let's see. Somehow I got something messed up here. I'm out of order. Let's see. So we got this one. All right, what else can I talk about? Golly. Diamond painting. So, where I previously was working, I call her my boss. She's always like, I'm not your boss. She was my manager. I don't know. But anyway, her and I are good friends. And she had mentioned one day something about, she had started, I can't remember how exactly it came up, but she was talking about she had started diamond painting, or she had ordered a diamond painting at that point. And I was like, I had seen something about that, like in my Facebook feeds or Instagram. I can't remember exactly. I think it was Facebook. Might have been Instagram. I don't know. I had kind of seen stuff and was kind of like, I wonder what that's about. But then she had mentioned something. And so I was like, I came home and I was telling my boyfriend about it. And we were kind of looking at stuff. We were just looking on Amazon at that point. I didn't know any different. And so he got it just as excited as I did about it all. And so we just started. Oh, see, I'm losing track of where I'm going here. So we started ordering a few things. We'd see stuff. Oh, that looks really cool. Oh, that looks really cool. Oh, that looks really cool. So, we just kind of threw some stuff in a cart and ordered. And so they came in and I started working on them. And I was hooked. I really liked it. So then slowly but surely I found other companies, and I don't even remember how I found them. I don't know if I joined some groups. Honestly, I don't remember. This was back in April 2023, so it's just been over a year. And so I found some other companies, bought a few from them, and then I can't remember how. I think my friend had told me about Diamond Art Club. She had found it. So then my first order with them was in June of 2023. I'm trying to remember. I kind of was ordering here and there, and at that time there wasn't a ton of stuff that interested me on there at first. I think I saw some floral stuff and the birds then I had seen, and those interested me. They were quirky. So a little bit about the birds. You'll find this kind of funny. I'm scared to death of birds. I watched the movie The Birds as a child. And it scared me to death. I have been afraid of birds ever since. I like birds, and birds seem to know it because they seem to dive at me. I used to live in a house. We had, we were kind of out. Well, we were out in the country. We had a black, I guess, cow farm behind us. And I would mow. We were on like an acre and a half, and then we had an acre and a half open next to us. There were a couple, we owned one of them, and then my parents owned the other acre and a half next to us, but they hadn't built out there ended up never did, but anyways, I would mow out there, and we had barn swallows. We had a big barn that we built, and barn swallows, they would attack me, and I would freak out. I would put a hat on and I would put my hand over my head, like pulling the hat down so I couldn't see anything around me. I even, I don't know if I should say this live, but I even at one point, my kids had little BB guns and I was like, just shoot at the birds. I don't care if you hit me, shoot at the freaking birds. I want them gone. Which I'm sure they got a kick out of it, being able to shoot. I get to shoot at mom. Which, yeah. And then finally I, panicked enough and freaked out enough. And so we figured out how to get my oldest, we had a rider mower, and my oldest wasn't quite heavy enough and his legs weren't quite long enough to reach the pedal and not heavy enough to trigger the weight sensor. So we rigged it up. Well, no, he finally did get heavy enough to trigger the weight sensor, but his leg wasn't long enough to reach the pedal. So my then husband, put a block on the pedal so that he could reach it, and he started mowing for me, which I loved mowing. I loved doing yard work. I loved mowing, but I just was scared to death of those dang birds. So, my bird story. Oh yeah, I got sidetracked. Sorry. So I fell in love with the Richard Lorenz birds from Diamond Art Club, and so I would get those and florals. Mainly were my top choices back in the day. I had seen lots of ones that I thought were really pretty. I just didn't think they were something for me to do. I would never hang that on my wall. It kind of looks cool to do, but I wouldn't hang that on my wall. And, why would I get that? And, so there was a lot of those types of paintings, and I have a hard time with a lot of dark for whatever reason. I can't do a lot of dark. So I would always pick paintings that had a lot of color, which I still do that, but those were my choices. So there wasn't a ton at the time that I could find, and I didn't know the DAC site at that time very well. I didn't know you could look back and add them to a wish list, all the stuff. Whoops, I forgot. I dumped all these. So, so I would order here and there from them. Shoot, guys. Oh, that did not work well either. My little methods aren't working well, guys. So yeah, so I was still ordering from a few other places as well. And then I think I finally did a Diamond Art Club painting. And I saw the difference, as many, do. And I was like, oh, wow. These are just really, really nice. The drill quality is really nice. Everything was really nice. If you've done a Diamond Art Club, you know what I mean. If you have not, you need to experience a Diamond Art Club painting. Or this Jones Diamond Art, I would say, is really, really right up there with them. Their canvas definitely is. Drill quality is really close. I know Diamond Art Club is hard to beat with their drills, but these are, I would say, very close to their drill quality. They are really, really nice. So, anyway, with that said, so Diamond Art Club, I ordered from a few others. I did the Diamond Art Club one, and I really liked them. I ended up ordering, and finding all the birds. I got into the D-Stash to find all the birds, and yes, I did find Agnes, the one that is so desperately sought after. I was able to snag her. Thank you to the person that I got her from, if she ever watches this video. That just happened to be a late night. I was on at the right time and she was posting and she had it. So that worked out really well. Where's my metallics? All right. Where did my metallics go? Oh, they're here. That's why. So I do collect all the birds. I do have all of them, as I said. And as you can see, I'm getting distracted when I have to think about what I'm actually doing instead of talking. But I'm trying to keep anybody company. If I do the long version, I'm trying to keep anybody company if they want to hear me babble about myself. So that is my... Oh, I forgot to do these, didn't I? I have found a few other companies that I've been slowly buying stuff from, like Gems Diamond Art. I have this one that I'm kitting down, and I did a review of. I have another one from Gems Diamond coming. It's called Little Party Owl. It's Little Owl. I do like the whimsical birds. Oh, that's where I was. That's where I was with my bird story. So I fell in love with the birds. So it's kind of funny that I love all these whimsical birds, but I'm still scared to death of birds. So anyway, a little funny about me. Birds and fish, scared to death. But I enjoy doing these birds paintings. I think they're just really fun and whimsical, and I enjoy doing them. But I also like florals. I do like a lot of florals. And my tastes have also started to, I won't say they've changed necessarily, because I still like all of those things. But I am also finding that, so I saw Hannah Lynn one day that reminded me of myself. My mom always refers to me as Lammy, Mary's little lamb. So she buys me lamb things. Well, Hannah Lynn, Rainy Day, any of you that know that painting, it's a girl with red hair with streaks and a lamb in the rain. You know, there's an umbrella and a rainbow and all that stuff. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I have not naturally red hair, but I have dyed red hair. Not bright red or anything, but more of a mahogany type color. And it has blonde highlights in it. So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I had to get that. And then I got one, and then I was like, I showed my boyfriend, because I got it, you know, to give to my mom. And my boyfriend was like, I want one of those. So I do have two, but there is a reason. I'm not looking to sell it. So I did the one, I did change the eye color to brown, because I do have brown eyes, so it does match my eyes now. So I did do one of those, and that is also posted if you are interested in taking a peek at that, how I enhanced that one quite a bit as well. I do enhance pretty much everything I do. I haven't not enhanced a kit I've worked on since I got into enhancing last fall-ish. Maybe November, October, November, somewhere in there I think I started finding enhancement stuff. So I haven't gone back since. Or maybe it was, you know what, I think I found it and I had ordered some, but I don't think I actually started with the kit that I bought until the beginning of this year, maybe. Anyway, like needless to say, I pretty much enhance everything now. So, which, it's interesting. It does take time. But I feel it's well worth it. I like the enhancements. I know not everybody does, and that's okay. That's why we all are different. That's what makes us all work, right? Because we're not all the same. So back to my, anyway, so I found the Hannah Lynn's, the Big Eyed Girls, and I had seen them, and I seen, you know, a lot of people like all into them and love them and all this stuff, and I just, you know, I saw them and I thought, oh, those are pretty. They're not something I would want to do, but that one caught my attention because it reminded me of myself, my mom calling me Lammy. So got that one, and then I started seeing more of them. Then I'm like, oh, you know, those are actually, those are actually really kind of cool. Like, I bet they'd be really fun to work on. Or I started seeing stuff that I'm like, I bet that would be really fun to work on. Or I would see somebody else's completed stuff, and I'd be like, oh, that looks really cool. So my taste really started to expand by seeing, like, I was in a few events in January, and I just started seeing a lot of other kits people doing, and I really started looking more and just kind of was like, oh, that's really cool done. Oh, that, you know, that's really cool. I'm going to have to get that. So I got Beach Vacation because of that. I got a Wonder Woman one because of that. I got some more Hannah Lynn's. I got some landscapes. So my taste has very well broadened of what I like to do. And it's just kind of cool to see, you know, I still like the stuff that I started out with. It's not like it's changed. It's just expanded into other things and I really like the variety that it gives me of different stuff to do. So I'm excited. I've got some stuff that's come that I'm like, I never thought that would be me, but, well, I went backwards again, guys. I don't know what happened here. I must have moved some around because they were a little out of order in my thing. Like, wait, what's happening here? So yeah, so it's really kind of cool to have that variety as well. To be able to pick different things. Like I have been doing events every month. I took the month of June off simply because I had a couple things that I wanted to do, and had some things I wanted to do, and they didn't line up with an event in the right time frame. So I did a couple kits, this Magical Sea Friends being one, and I did a hummingbird one that I've had for a friend of mine. But I have an event that just started today. Well, it starts tomorrow, but they opened it up to start today. That I'm doing Beach Vacation. So I'm excited about doing that one, and that one is really, really enhanced. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited to get working on that, but I wanted to do this video first so I could get stuff kitted down and have a video for you to watch on how to kit down specialty drills. So, oh, didn't mean to do that. See, I lost what I was doing again. This is DP with Sparklers AB 550. All right, so that's more on my expansion of what I like to do. So yeah, if you looked at my collection now, it is all over the place. I still am not into, like, I can't do, like, even though I think a lot of, there's some paintings that I think are really cool. I myself, I can't see myself doing them just because there's so much dark, and I need color. So even though, like, oh, what's those ones that just came out? Stonehenge. It's a girl. There's images of like a ghostly figure, and they're really, really cool. But it's too much dark for me. I'm too afraid to spend that kind of money on something not knowing that I want to for sure do it. Even though I think it's really cool, I just don't think I could do all the dark. So there's that. There's a lot of them I think are really cool, but I wouldn't get it because I don't think I could do it just because of the coloring. So that's kind of my journey with diamond art. And then I'd see all these creators and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that looks kind of interesting to do. I could do some videos like that. So here we are, trying to do a few videos just to have some fun, and I think I have some stuff that I can share that might help people, or, you know, just give you something to listen to, some company, something to watch. I don't know if I'll ever do lives or whipping chats, or I don't know. We'll see how this goes, trying to chat. Chat and, oh, see, I'm getting ahead of myself already. Here we go. I gotta put this away. And having stuff to talk about. What do you guys want to hear about? See, we're not even halfway done here, and not sure quite what else to talk about. Let's see. I can tell you about, let's see, what have I had? Kind of interesting in my life. I had a stalker at one point. Let's talk about my female stalker. That was interesting. So I lived in an apartment, and I came home. You know, I'd lived close to where I worked, and let's see, I gotta do the alphabet here. Give me 1 second. Opal, that should go there. So I lived close to work, so I'd come home a lot of times for lunch. Well, I came home one day and I lived in an apartment complex that had the gate. You had to punch in a code to get in the gates, and then even at the doors, there was like 8 apartments in a building, and you had to have a code to get in the door or be buzzed in, that sort of thing. So came home for lunch one day. I think about 22 years old. So I came home from lunch, and there was an envelope with a note shoved through my apartment door. Not like just the main building, but my apartment door. And I opened it up, And I don't even remember what exactly all said. This was a long time ago. I do still have them somewhere in my stuff. But it said something about reincarnating my dad, Dr. Bone, on a green marble table that was sent to me, that this person had sent to me. And I was just like, what in the world? I just kind of laughed, and I took it back to work with me and was kind of shown, like, look what I came home to. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how this person would have got in my building, blah, 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 blah. So just kind of laughed it off at that point. And then I can't remember if it was that night that I got home, or I don't remember all the time frames, but it was over a couple month period that this went on. I got more notes. I got pizza delivered. I got flowers delivered. I got a Ralph Lauren wallet, a Liz Claiborne purse delivered. I got more pizza, more flowers. I got a poker, like a fireplace poker set, which I didn't even have a fireplace in my apartment. Let's see, what else did she... Oh, a TV, a big TV. 10 o'clock one night, Best Buy comes buzzing at my door, and I'm like, hello? I was kind of scared. I don't, 22 years old, somebody at my door. I'm not just going to open my door. So they kept saying they were Best Buy, here to deliver a TV. And I'm like, I didn't order a TV. And they double confirmed the address. I'm like, I didn't order a TV. So I sent them away. And I called the next day, Best Buy, and asked them. And they said yes. That was them there to deliver a TV. And I kind of told them, and they're like, well, they couldn't redeliver it after that. I'm like, well, shoot. A TV would be nice. But, so in the meantime, I kept getting letters. And I knew where she worked because she would write, she was a doctor, and she would write letters on the back of her pay stubs. So I knew exactly where she worked. I knew the kind of money she made. Everything. And, I would very rarely see her. I didn't know at that time, in the beginning, I didn't know that she lived in the apartment building. I forget how I ended up finding that out. Shoot, I don't remember how I found out she lived there. But she also sent me money orders, all kinds of interesting stuff. One day I had woke up early and I went out and I was sitting in my Lazy Boy. I turned the TV on, and now the Lazy Boy, kind of the back of it was facing the door, the entry door to my apartment. And I had fallen back to sleep. Well, I woke up, I heard somebody jiggling the handle of my door. And I was like, what in the world? So I woke up and I looked out the little peephole, and it was her at my door. And all I could tell was she was trying to get in. She had something in her hand trying to get in my door. And I freaked out. I got up, I grabbed my phone. This was before cell phone days. And I called my mom. And Mom's like, well, why are you calling me? Call the police. I'm like, I don't want to call the police. I haven't showered. I'm not dressed. I'm still in my pajamas. She'd laugh, and she's like, hang up and call the police. So I called the police. So in the meantime, my dad's on his way over. I only lived, 10, 15 minutes from them at the time. And so I called the police. Of course, my dad made it there before the police. And he came walking up, and the entry door had two side panel windows next to it, to the entry door to the apartment building. And so my dad was walking up to the door, and I saw him. So as he was looking in the side panels and seeing the lady at my door, I was buzzing him in, and she heard that, and that scared her, and I opened my door at the same time. So she just kind of looked at us like, blankly and then walked off to her apartment. We kind of followed her. We're like, what's in your hand? What's in your hand? She was a little Asian lady. And she wouldn't show us. We were waiting for the police to come. We wouldn't let her close her door until the police got there. The police finally came, and at that point, you know, it was done and over with. What are they can't do anything or don't do anything. Police don't do anything about that kind of stuff unless something actually happens, unfortunately. And she had out of her hand whatever it was that she had to try and get in my apartment. So they kind of were questioning, you know, what had happened. And in the meantime, as we were standing there, I am getting another delivery from Best Buy, a stereo system. Full-on stereo system, subwoofers, big, you know, back in the day, it was big speakers and, you know, the whole setup. And I just looked at the cop and I was like, that's from her. Can I accept it? And he says, absolutely, it's sent to you. So I said, okay, bring it on in. So I got a stereo system. So now that the police had been involved, a detective ended up calling me, and he did start looking into, in these letters, go back, in these letters, she kept talking about going to the FBI, going and talking to the FBI and blah, blah, blah about all this, I don't know, whatever was going on in her head. But now that the police were involved, I did have a detective call me, and he did look into things, and he did end up finding her husband, who lived about an hour away. And apparently all right, I gotta think a minute, hold on. Apparently he kept trying to get her to go back to, sorry, she wasn't Asian, she was from India, Middle Eastern. So he kept trying to get her to go back there because there was something that happened a while back that this Dr. Bone that she referred to was trying to help her with. She had a lawsuit, and I don't know, it kind of gets crazy, but this Dr. Bone was trying to help her get out of this lawsuit and or show that it wasn't her fault. She was made to do this surgery that someone passed during, and it just was this whole big crazy thing. And she this Dr. Bone passed then before everything got settled. Well, apparently she had gone to where his actual wife and daughter lived, and she was kicked out she kept trying to harass them. Well, then somehow, I don't know if she saw me somewhere or what, but she thought I was this doctor's daughter. And she fixated on me, and apparently she moved into this apartment complex because of me. The ladies in the office said that she had to be in this building, and she walked all around it, and she kept asking about my apartment, all kinds of craziness. I was like, oh my gosh. So in the meantime, I ended up saying I just wanted to move out of there. It just was creepy after all that. And so they allowed me to move out without penalizing me or anything like that. And I did get, the detective put me in touch, or not in touch, but he communicated to the husband that, you know, I had this stuff, and I, you know, was willing to give it back, you know, the stereo system, the money order. I didn't ever do anything with it. All this stuff back, but, you know, I said I am moving, so you have to be here on this day if you want it back, because I'll be gone after that. So he did end up showing up after everything was moved. Like, had my last load all loaded up and ready to go, and he did show up, and I did give him the money order back. He said just keep everything else for all the trouble and all that stuff. So I did end up, and he told me, you know, he apologized for her, and he knew, I guess, all this stuff was going on. He kept trying to get her back to India, and he said it just, anytime this doctor would be mentioned. She just had a glaze over her eye, and I said, yeah, I saw that glaze the few times I did talk to her. So that was a whole interesting thing. I don't know where she's at today, anything about her, but that was an interesting, that was over, like I said, a couple months that all went on. So that was interesting, kind of creeped me out. You know, my mom then I had my 2 younger brothers, and she had them come stay with me for a couple nights after that happened. You know, they were still younger. I mean, they were teenagers, but, so yeah, they at least stayed in my apartment with me, but, so, there's that story. What else can I talk about? Because we still got a ways to go here. And I feel like I'm doing not too bad for trying to talk and do this at the same time. Hopefully I don't come across something later on and be like, oh, I really messed that up. I am losing a few diamonds here and there, but that's okay. Alright, that can go there. So these stickers aren't too bad coming off. I'll probably have to clean these up a little bit. However, it's probably time to kind of clean them up anyway, because I've used them over and over and not. Maybe that's why they're sticking, because I didn't clean them off first. So they're maybe on a little bit of other stuff. Who knows? Alright, so other interesting things about me. Maybe I need to come up with some questions and have a list, because I'm doing this all on the fly. I didn't think about anything to talk about. Let's see. How about jobs that I've had? Talk about jobs that I've had. So my very first job I got as a junior in high school. I was in, well, first I'll say I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a kid. I don't know why I wanted to be a criminal defense attorney. I just always thought that sounded interesting. I don't know. But then I was not big on reading. Like, I didn't like read. I hated doing book reports. I didn't like doing oral book report. Very few books really interested me. So my mom was kind of like, you know, you got to read a lot to be a lawyer. And I'm like, oh. She's like, you know how much school you got to go through? And I'm like, oh, I didn't think about all that stuff. So, not that she deterred me, but she deterred me in a good way. And I ended up doing like office business classes then in school, high school. And that got me an interview. We used to have, I don't know if they still do it as much as they did then or not, but they had a co-op program, and businesses would come to the school and they were looking for help. And so we had this one company come to the school, and me and a good friend of mine at the time were both sent to interview with them. So we went and interviewed, and I got the job. So as a junior in high school, I just went for a couple hours after work. We'd get out of school like 2:30, I think, and so then I would get there by 3, go home, eat a little something, change my clothes because it was an office. And I would go in and work for 2 hours every day. In the summer between my junior and senior year, they did have me come in full time, so I did work full time that summer. And then once school started back up, I would go to school half a day, and then I would leave, go home, eat a quick lunch, and change, and then go work half a day. So, and then once I graduated, they hired me full time. So I was there for 8 years. I got married right out of high school, and then let's see, so I was 18, and then I didn't have kids until 6 years later. I was 24. So then I had my first child, and I took the family leave. I had a hard time going back to work, but I did. I took the family leave, and then I went back, and then I got pregnant again. We decided, let's just have another one. And then I was able to quit before I had him. So that worked out well. I was fortunate enough to be able to not have to work when I had my kids. So I stayed home. I ended up doing a lot of volunteer work at the church that we went to. I helped at the kids' school once they got of that age and in school. Once they got a little bit older is when I started helping at the church as well. I was very involved helping do all kinds of stuff there. And then let's see, what did I end up doing next? So I did a lot of stuff at the church. I helped with in the missions department. I helped with some of the women's stuff. We would do like testimony teas is what we call them, and I would help organize a silent auction for that. Did that for a few years. Going into the school and help, whatever the teachers needed, whether it was copies or, whatever, that type of stuff they needed done that they didn't have time to do. I helped at the church with the missions department. I would help with organizing wild game dinners, missions trips, all sorts of that kind of stuff. And that led to I moved to living in Haiti for 3 years, from 2010 to 2013. Me and my family lived in Haiti, and down there I helped, my then husband did, he did the construction side of things, built a lot of churches. It was just after the earthquake. We took many trips down there and knew that we wanted to be there more full time, and so then that opened the door up for things that he did construction-wise. So he did a lot of building of houses and churches and schools and orphanages and all that stuff. Well, I helped organize. We would have anywhere up to 200 people a week come to help, and I would help organize all those teams from the time they got off the bus to getting them back on the bus. I scheduled like where they were sleeping and where they were, how they were getting to and from the airport and what they would be doing in the villages each day or construction projects. I mean, I would have a list of things and where they could go, but I would get that all organized so we didn't have 200 people in one place at one time. That was never good. So where they were sleeping and if we had to do eating shifts or, anything like that. So I helped with that. And then I also, when we got there, they had a small little honor system gift shop, sorta. There was just a few things, random things in there that people could do, and they'd have a few shirts and different stuff, and it wasn't well watched over or anything like that. And I ended up, there was a new building we had to put up for a guest house we had to build because we had so many people wanting to come. And, in the earthquake, there was so many people wanting to come, they put up like a big, I think it's called like a Quonset hut, or a big tent-like thing with, it had concrete or block bottom, but then a big huge tent over top. Well, that ended up becoming once the guest house got built, that ended up becoming the kitchen where everybody would eat. And I asked if I could have a section for a gift shop. So I got a Americanized gift shop up and running. And oversaw that. I would go and do all the shopping and bring stuff in and do all the bartering and, all that stuff. And I would have certain vendors that knew I was coming every so often to buy from them. So, of course, I would buy in quantity so they'd give me good deals and all that good stuff. And I got one of the Haitian gals that was around a lot. I got her to help me in the shop, and she ended up becoming like the manager. Like, she was down there all the time and worked the store. I kind of did all the behind the scenes stuff, kept the inventory up, kept all the purchases, and so gave her a job. She did get paid. She got paid to do that job while she was going to business school as well. So I did that, and then let's see, we came back in 2013, and at first I wasn't going to continue any of that stuff. It was supposed to all be handed off, but it just didn't work out with anybody. There was a couple people that it just didn't work out, so then I ended up having to change a lot of stuff around so that I could continue doing it from home until somebody could be found to do it. So, like the week before I was leaving, I had to change a lot of systems around so that it would work for me doing it from here. I had to, train then my Haitian manager to do all the shopping and just different stuff that wasn't going to be part of her job. So it was kind of a scramble, but it worked. But then a few months later, it ended up going back down on that side, which is where it really needed to be. It was not easy doing it from here, but it was needed at that moment. So then I ended up working at a cabinet company here. Okay, I lost what I was doing. Oh yeah, here we go. Working for a cabinet company here. It's actually my sister-in-law's father's company, so my brother and sister-in-law both worked there, and I needed something when I came back, so they said they needed some help, so okay. So I worked there for a couple years, and then they needed a bigger warehouse. Well, they found one that was out of town, about 45 minutes away. And I couldn't get there any faster. And at that time, my then husband was working out of town all the time, and I had 2 teenage boys, and I just wasn't comfortable being that far away at the time. So I decided to leave there, and so then I wasn't doing anything for a few months, and then my pastor called, and he's like, "Hey, I hear you're not doing anything. Would you want to work in the front office of the church?" So, okay, I went in and we talked, and he told me what I'd be doing and this, that, and the other. It was just part-time, and I was like, that's, that good. Yep, yep. So then I worked at my church. Part-time. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe, is what I worked in the front office. So I ran things up there, handled scheduling and anybody that would come in, and organized mission trips again, all kinds of things. I was the let's see, what was it called? The small groups pastor, assistant, and then the lead pastor. If his assistant was out, I would help him with anything, or she was there and he needed stuff, I helped him out. I don't know, just all kinds of stuff I was doing. So I was there for a few years, and then I got to a point I needed a full-time job. And so then I started working for a commercial real estate property management company in the maintenance department. So I would help coordinate maintenance that would need to be done on these properties, which was right up my alley, organizing. And from prior experience, I knew quite a bit about the construction industry. That was what my then husband was in. I was in construction, so I just picked stuff up from that. Over 25 years, you just kind of pick things up and learn things and know things and stuff like that. So that came pretty easy. I did still learn a lot there. I mean, it wasn't, he did residential more so that I knew. Down in Haiti was more commercial type stuff, but so I kind of knew quite a bit, which was helpful. And just organized, was just working with a lot of contractors, tenants, that kind of stuff, making sure stuff happened. I really enjoyed that job, what I was doing. Gotta think again, hold on. So I really enjoyed it. I was there for almost 5 years. There was just some changes that went on that happened over the few years that it just kind of became a very toxic place to work. It was already a stressful job, which the stressful of the job did not bother me because I enjoyed what I was doing, and but the toxic environment was not good at all. My whole department ended up looking for other jobs. So it just wasn't a great place anymore, even though I really enjoyed what I was doing. So then I was no longer there. So I was unemployed for a few months, and then I did find another job at a hospital, actually, in the lab. And that was, let me see, am I out of order? Okay, no. Sorry, I was losing my place again. That was a nice job, a neat job. I was there for, well, I had gotten the job. I had interviewed in January. The job wasn't actually posted yet. It was word of mouth that I got the interview, but the job hadn't actually posted yet. But she wanted to talk to me, and so I went in. That was in January, and then I think the job was actually posted then either the end of January or early February maybe. And so then I applied, and then you go through all that process, and it's quite the, I've never been through quite such a process for a job. So it was quite interesting. So then I got the job, but I couldn't start until mid-March. And this year is kind of a crazy year. My mom was supposed to have her hip replacement before I started. So that's why I pushed it out a week to start, because she was supposed to have her surgery on a Monday, and then I was starting the following Monday. Well, last minute, my dad ended up having some issues, and they thought he was going to have open heart and this, that, and the other. And so my mom decided to cancel her surgery until we knew what was going on with my dad. And so then I started my job, and within a week, my dad, they had him scheduled for open heart surgery. So 2 weeks into my job, I'm having to take time off to be there for them, and it was really hard trying to work, and because there's a lot of history with my dad and stuff, so surgeries do not go easy for him, and you never know, they're 76, my parents are 76, so you never know how much longer they're going to be around, and especially with the issues that he has, it's always scary. So I was having a hard time not being able to be there. And then, my mom still had to have her hip replacement. She has to have both of them done. My son has to have another knee surgery. He had one done in January. We have my son getting married in October. We already had a vacation planned for July. There's just a lot going on right now. And so me and my boyfriend decided that I just need to not work right now, and that would be the best because of all the stuff we have going on. I didn't feel right doing that to, where I was working, like, oh yeah, I'm going to start, but I need all this time off. And so it just, and she didn't want to let me go, which felt kind of nice. She kept telling me, she's like, no, just get through this. It's okay. I'm going to give you this time off, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. And, we'll talk. And so then I told her, a couple days later that I was still at the same conclusion. And because my dad, it took him longer to heal, and he ended up staying in the hospital longer than normal with his surgery. And so she said, I'm going to give you a few more days. Keep thinking about it. I don't want you to make a rash decision. And so we talked a few days later, and I said, we're fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know, still at the same decision. There's just so much going on this year, and it's not fair to them to say, well, I need this time off, and then, if they didn't give it to me, it wouldn't be good either. So anyway, so here I am. Those are the jobs that I've had. And now I'm stay-at-home girlfriend, I guess. I clean and cook and diamond paint. diamond paint more than clean or cook, I guess. I don't know. Some days it feels like that, but, and I help out, you know, with these surgeries. And like I said, I go up, you know, and help my mom out, with her stuff, try and help her stay on top of stuff. But, and I stayed with her at the surgery, and then we did find out, you know, my dad does have to have, he had a pacemaker put in December and the open heart in April, and we think there could very well possibly be, there's something going on with his pacemaker. I think because of the open heart, I'm not quite understanding the full detail of it, but because of the open heart, I believe they need to do something more with the pacemaker. So he may have to get that replaced or another lead put in. So we're kind of waiting to hear about all that. And then, you know, my son will have his other knee surgery November, December. And then my mom, probably her other hip. We're not 100% sure yet, but probably still maybe the end of this year. So the end of the year could be a little crazy with, you know, that. And then you throw the holidays in there and got a wedding in October. So I take my breaks when they come and do what I can. And now I'm trying to do some YouTube videos, and I'm like, holy cow. I said, it takes time to do these, doesn't it? So, especially when I sit here and try and chat with y'all and figure out what to talk about. But I guess you're getting to know me a little bit. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? Let's see, how about there's some other topics. Okay, so this might be an odd one for some, maybe not for others, but how about vehicles? I have never been, oh, there's some polish there. Let's see, what am I trying to say? I started out not being a big vehicle person. I mean, I like, you know, nice vehicles, of course, but my very first car was a Chevy Cavalier Z24. It was white. It was a little sporty car. I liked it. It got me where I needed to go. And then my next car was a Chrysler Sebring, the coupe, I guess it would have been called. It was a two-door. It was very sporty looking, not what they look like today. It's very sporty looking, you know, only had two doors. Well, then I got pregnant. So the day came home from the hospital with Noah, my mom came and babysat, and we went and bought a minivan. I was like, that car is not gonna work. So then I became minivan mom, And I realized I'm not a minivan mom. I was like, I can't wait to get rid of this. And we did a lease, so it was 5 years. And while it was nice with having the kids young, made it easy. You know, you could haul everything and the kids and car seats and other people. And I just realized minivan is not me. So then I wanted an SUV. So, ended up with a Dodge Durango. And that was when they were a lot bigger than they are now. They sat a lot higher. I don't know, they seemed a lot bigger to me than the ones now. So I ended up with that. And then I wanted something even bigger. But at that time, well, and still, the bigger SUVs are a lot more costly. So, I ended up, my then husband was like, well, he had a truck. And he's like, well, what do you think about a truck? Have you ever tried a truck? And I'm like, oh, that's so big. And he's like, well, they're really not bigger than a big SUV. So went and test drove one, and I loved it. A Dodge Ram. Well, now they're just Ram, but so I loved it. However, they didn't have on the lot the exact one I wanted. So they searched around and they found one that had, you know, the stuff that I wanted, and they got it in. It was beautiful. Was that like a deep red color. Had the chrome pipe, a lot of chrome pipes on it and all kinds of different stuff. It was a little bit more than, like, I didn't ask for that stuff, but the one they could find that had the interior stuff, like the stuff that I wanted on it, that's what I had. So I had a really cool truck. Then after that, I loved my trucks. Well, then that was a lease, and then the economy crashed when that lease was coming up, and they weren't doing leases at the time because of all the stuff that had gone on with the auto industry and the economy, and so they weren't doing leases, and I wanted a truck, and we couldn't find, you know, to buy mine out would have cost more than what the lease cost was. It didn't make sense. So I ended up buying a Ford truck. I liked my Ram. Sorry for Ford lovers. I prefer Ram. I felt like I was in an old man truck, and it could have just been, you know, the style back then. I don't know. I just felt like looked like an old man in my truck. It was an old man truck. The Dodge, I felt, rode a lot nicer, was not, I don't know, it just a lot nicer ride in my Dodge, my Ram. So, oh, I did right. But that's what worked at the time, so that's what I had. Had that for, I don't even think, a year when we ended up leaving for Haiti. So sold that to a friend of ours, bought it for what we still owed on it. And then was down in Haiti for 3 years. I did not have a vehicle. I did. We had our four-wheeler. We had a big Grizzly, Yamaha Grizzly four-wheeler. I don't know. It was one of the biggest ones made back then. See, I'm losing what I'm doing if you're watching. I'm forgetting what I'm doing because I'm talking. So that was my vehicle to kind of get around. The mission that we lived on was, I don't know, 70 or 100 acres or something like that. So I needed something to get around. Most of the time I could kind of walk to everything close that I needed, but sometimes I did need, it was nice to be able to not have to walk in the 100-degree weather, up and down a mountainside. So I had my four-wheeler that I tootled around in. So that was my vehicle down there, and then when we got back, I ended up getting a little, just a used Pontiac Vibe, because obviously coming back we had nothing. We had sold our house, and we did have one house, our first house that we had bought years and years ago, when I was pregnant with my first son. We still had that and rented it out while we were gone, but sold the house that we had been living in. So we ended up moving back into that small house, and we did have he had a truck that didn't sell, which when we would come back and visit, it was kind of nice. We still had a vehicle. And I can't remember if at that time, if it was paid for. I don't really remember, but so we at least had a vehicle when we came back. But then I got a Pontiac Vibe, and it was a cute little car. I had fun driving it around. You know, it was little, but I was a big truck girl. So then it got in an accident and was totaled. So then I needed a new car, he needed a new car, so we went and we both ended up with trucks again. Rams. We did look at Chevy. I'm not a Chevy fan. Some of them I like how they look, some of them I don't. But again, Dodge girl, Ram girl. So ended up with another truck, another beautiful deep red truck. And then that lease was up, and I got another truck, another Ram. And then that lease was up, and I was in the midst of some crazy going on in my life, and or no, the crazy going on was when I had to go to my second truck out of the first lease. So I did end up with another Dodge Ram. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but because of the crazy, that's just where I ended up. I was still in a truck, but it wasn't one I really cared for so much, but I was happy to still be in a truck. So, but then when it was time for that lease to be up, I was in another situation and ended up buying a vehicle instead of going into another lease. And I ended up, while I loved my trucks, I did kind of miss having a place to put groceries and different stuff. So I did end up with, or having, a trunk, an enclosed trunk. I did end up with I now have a beautiful, what am I doing, guys? I'm lost again. Okay, I need to put these away. A beautiful, that deep, I like the deep red. So I have a deep red, I don't know what the exact color is, burgundy, Dodge Durango. So, and it has the blackout rims and all that stuff on it. It's beautiful. So, and I do really miss being up like you are in a truck. But I do really like having the enclosed trunk. It does make it nice, when you're traveling or for groceries, or even have, like, if it's raining out and you're trying to put something in your trunk, you have a little umbrella when you're trying to load. So I do love that vehicle. It's very pretty, and I'm buying it. So I have not bought a vehicle in many, 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 many years. So if you are a car person, let me know. Dodge, Dodge, Ford, Chevy, foreign. One thing I am having a hard time with is I don't think I could ever do. Nothing against it, if that's what you have and like it. I don't think I can do the electric vehicle. I don't think I ever could. I know there's a lot of back and forth on that, so I'm not going to get into any of that, but it's not for me. Sorry, I got to think again. All right, so cars. I do like muscle cars. If I could have several different cars, I would have a truck. I really I think, you're gonna laugh. International makes like a pickup, a big, like, semi pickup. I can't think of what it's called, but that would be like one of my dream vehicles. I like big. And so if I could have multiple vehicles, that would definitely be one. I can't think of what it's called. All I know, International makes it. And it's big. I've seen only a couple of them. The first time I saw it, I believe, was down in Haiti, or actually Dominican Republic. We had taken a vacation over. And I can't remember if it was while we were still in Haiti, in the northern part of Haiti vacationing, or when we crossed over in Dominican, but I had seen it. And yes, they do have very, very wealthy people in Haiti. You don't hear about them much, but it's a lot of very wealthy and a lot of very poor. There is some middle class. So yes, they do have those kind of vehicles down there. But yeah, I saw one there, and then I had seen one time in my hometown when we moved back here. I was like, oh my gosh, I wanted to follow the person down and ask if I could check it out, but I didn't. I do like the sound of a diesel. If diesel wasn't so expensive right now, I might have a diesel myself, because I absolutely love the sound of a diesel engine. Not necessarily a semi, but like a pickup truck diesel engine. So even though I'm very girly, I have I like my trucks. Let's see, so I would have one of those. And I would have some sort of little fun sports car. And I would definitely have some sort of muscle car. I don't know exactly which one yet. I see a lot of them and I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. Oh, that's really pretty. So if I were able to pick one out, obviously, I would have to choose then, but I would have a little variety. But nothing electric. Okay, what else can we talk about? We're getting close to being done. Let's see. Just write that down already. Oh, the wind's blowing. I have my windows open. Wind's blowing stuff at me. Let's see. I did years ago, I don't know if anybody remembers, Premier Designs jewelry. I did sell that for a little bit of time. I do like, I'm a blingy girl, so I like a lot of bling. And that's not really working right now. I don't wear stuff, so I kind of miss it some days. But I sold that for a little while. I did do paparazzi for a little bit as well. I still have quite a bit of that jewelry left that I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of. It's actually in my way. I could have more painting storage if I could get rid of some of it, but that's something I need to work on. Let's see, what else? If you're interested, let me know. Just FYI. I do still actually have some of the Premier Designs left also, not much, but every once in a while I come across that little tote of stuff that I have. Go down memory lane. Yeah, the paparazzi stuff, I have quite a lot of that stuff left. I have it all organized and everything else. I just haven't figured out how to. Because I don't want to get on and do lives with it and all that stuff. It's a lot of work. And I just don't want to do it that way. So, what else? Let's see, I'm trying to think. Actually, none of what I'm wearing right now is either of those. I got some of this my mom had given me when I was helping her clean some of her jewelry out, and some of it is from when we went on our vacation last year. We go well, last year and this year so far we've gone to Oak Island, North Carolina, and vacation. My son that's down there, his fiance's family vacations there, and so we go and join them, and so that's been a lot of fun. Her family is really super cool. Get along with them well. Get along with my soon-to-be daughter-in-law really well. She gets me in trouble sometimes, but that's okay. I love her, so I'll let her. But yeah, so our families get along well, which is always great because I know that's not always the case. So I am super glad to have that kind of relationship with her and her family. All right, I am almost done, and I keep losing my spot here. Like I said, I hope I don't come across any that I forgot. All right, and we have one more. Enhancement. To get kitted down here. Oh, man, that thing has some static to it. I sat it to my right and it jumped all the way to my left. Let's see. That one goes in there. And we'll get this one. Put that away. And marked up. Okay, and put this away. And then there we have all of our specialty drills. Put this all as garbage. All the specialty drills are now put back away, and you see I have specialty drills separate from my regular drills. And I do keep track. If you're interested in this kind of system, let me know if you want more information. But I enjoyed spending time and talking to you. Hopefully know me a little bit better. If you have any questions or have anything you would like me to do a video on, or any more in depth on anything, just let me know. Leave me a comment. Like this video, it does help, and subscribe and hit all if you would like to be notified of any more content that I put up. And I will see you next time in another video. Enjoy your day, evening, morning, whatever it is where you are when you're watching this. And again, I will see you in my next video. Thank you.